All right, all right. How are we doing, everybody out there? NBA Finals 2020 first live stream going on right here. What's good, people? JC3 here. Welcome to Topic Tackle Live. Every year we do this for the NBA Finals, and we're going to go over Game 1. Heat and Lakers. You saw the thumbnail. Spoelstra's face. The look that you give when seemingly all of your key players getting injured, Lakers having their way inside from three, everywhere on the court. That is the look you give. You saw the thumbnail. And we're going to get into that more right now. Thank you everyone for being here. Topic Tackle Live. I'm going to go ahead and get this going. We're starting a little earlier tonight, so I'll give a little time for everybody to file in here and start asking their questions. And of course, I got a little monologue that I'll go over as well. So let's go ahead and get myself up here. Now, just so you guys know, before I do this, I am the personality on camera. I'm the person behind the camera. I'm running basically my tech booth. I'm doing everything here. So just give me a moment. Have a little grace for me as I'm finding where everything is here within OBS. And here we go. Here we go. We are here. And like I said, this is the look you give right here. You saw that score. Score ended up being closer than that. I'm going to pull some stats up here as well just so I have it ready. But yeah, that's the look you give right there. And honestly, a credit to Tyler Hero at the end of that game for Miami. Played 30 minutes, scored 14 points. Really made that score look a lot more, I guess, presentable, should you say, to put it nicely. But anyway, here, the goal also for this NBA Finals, for these live streams, are have some guests on as well. Tonight, it's still up in the air. I did reach out. Haven't heard back. Time zone differences, everything like that. So we are going to get some guests on Zoom going forward, though. And I'm going to have them all here on this live stream, video, podcast, whatever you want to call this. But we're here. We're repping the merch. If you're in the live chat, you can see the merch is pinned up above. If you're interested, you can go to it. I made it cheap. I think it's $14.99 and $19.99. Get yourself a shirt. You tweet at me that you wear a shirt. You get a shout out in the video. That's how it goes. I might even invite you to a Zoom call, whatever it is. I'm always talking basketball. So you buy a shirt. You buy some merch, you let me know, you're getting perks. That is what I do here at this channel. I'm seeing some people file in now. Sup, my dude? I see Mark Robertson out here. Hey, everyone who comments is getting a shout out. That is what I do on these live streams. All right, we usually start a few people by game one. By the time the series gets going, there's a lot more people. They're ready at the start. But I'm giving a shout out every single time to everybody who comments on here. We're going. This is what we're doing. We're going. All right, so I'll just go ahead and start with the monologue. I am monitoring a couple of things here. I'm hoping to have some guests on here tonight. And at the same time, everybody who's in the chat, I may do this. I don't know if I'm going to do this tonight, but I may do this going forward. So everyone who's here right now, go ahead and listen. If you're interested on going live with me during the stream, I know there's a little bit of a delay. I think there's like a 30-second delay. Let me know, and I might just post a Zoom link. Oh man, this might get crazy because there might be multiple people that hop in this. But you want to get your voice on here. I might just post a Zoom link in the live chat, and so you'll be able to be heard right here. All right. Audio and visual is a little off. That's what I'm getting. Maybe there's a bit of a delay between what I'm saying and, yeah, I'm trying to run tech and everything at the same time. Tech and beyond here. Let's see. I think this is, yeah, it might just be a little bit off for this time. I'll check it next time around. Run some post-game checks on it, I guess, if you want to say. But anyway, let me go ahead. I'll go over my monologue for Game 1, Lakers Heat, and I'll answer some questions. And hopefully we can get a guest on here tonight. If not, we definitely will going forward. And then we'll go ahead and get up out of here. You can go ahead and watch the latest video on Tyler Hero. Just got posted. Topic Tackle. You know how we're doing out here. All right, so Lakers and Heat Game 1. Lakers won this 116-98. They were up by 30 at one point, maybe even more. It was not a very close game, except you wouldn't have known that at the very beginning of the game. The Heat got out 23-10. By the time it was halftime, the Lakers had gone on a 30-point swing. 30-point swing. And they led 65-48. That's a 30-point turnaround, to put it with better words. Big second quarter. At the half, the Lakers were shooting 11 for 17 from 3, 10 for 10 from the stripe. They finished the game with great shooting numbers. And one of the first things, a notable for LA, Lakers go big. They started Dwight Howard tonight. That decision by Coach Frank Vogel, Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis, they both put them in there. And Miami just doesn't match up well against those two bigs. They like to run a smaller lineup. Adebayo, they throw Crowder in there, Jimmy Butler, Dragic, a couple other guards, kind of smaller guards, forwards compared to the bigs of LA. And how the game of basketball has been going, the two big system is basically kind of what got Doc Rivers fired out of LA Clippers. All right, it's kind of the past. It's not the wave of the future with the Golden State Warriors kind of reinventing how basketball is played and positionless basketball. But tonight, the Lakers taking advantage of the old school basketball while connecting on a lot of threes. But them going big inside definitely helped. They had a big rebound advantage, and they were dominating down low. So putting in Dwight Howard there was definitely key for them. Then I want to get on to the Heat injuries. Obviously, a lot of people are going to look at that from this game, and yeah, obviously that was something that dragged them down tonight, losing only by 18 points. But the game really wasn't that close. And going forward, there are some concerns. Jimmy Butler right now, his status is questionable. Pretty sure he'll play because he came back and played in this one. But he had a left ankle sprain early on in the game. He stayed in the game. He was hobbling a little bit in the fourth quarter as well. If you kept the game on, continue to watch it, you could see some noticeable hobble out of him. Just to get a quick second, everybody in the chat, I will get to all of your chat. So type it in right now while I'm giving my monologue, and I'll get to it after this. This is Topic Tackle, where you get a shout out if you comment on the live stream and if you buy the merch. Basically, if you interact with the channel, you get a shout out. That's what we're doing around here. All right, I want to pull up this screenshot for you right here. Again, I'm running tech, boom, and I'm going to continue to give my monologue. This is Greg Sylvander. He's hearing Dragic is likely done for the series. Now, you know how NBA Twitter is, Twitter in general, overreactions, everything like that. But this guy is pretty close to the Miami Heat in terms of connections. He's working to confirm it 100%, not looking good from what I'm told. And another tweet that he retweeted is this. Originally, we thought it was a Dragic foot injury. Could specifically be more of a plantar fascia injury. Now, if you saw him, you can go on Twitter, you can go on YouTube. I'm sure it'll be up there. I'm sure that one guy who posts all the videos, Doctor Reacts to Basketball Injuries, will post about Dragic. But yeah, Dragic in this one, foot injury, you saw where he hurt it, or the ankle. He drives in, it was the slightest awkward motion, and even the slightest awkward motions can cause pain, especially if it is, and this is speculation because we don't know for sure yet, if it is a plantar fascia issue, that could cause a ton of pain real quick. I haven't dealt specifically with plantar fascia, but in that whole area, we're talking Achilles, we're talking down there, I've dealt with that, and it's just the slightest motion that you can make, it could go wrong, and the instant, just pretty much excruciating pain, to put it bluntly. He drove in there. I think he was driving in with his dribbling with the right, stopped left ankle, and planted his foot in a way. It wasn't necessarily weird, I won't say that, but planted it in a way where he came up pretty gimpy and instantly noticed it, and that could be a sign of a plantar. So we will listen to the doctors. I don't want to just talk a bunch of speculation, but that was tweeted out right there that it could be that, and that could be a huge loss. Hence the reason why Greg said there that he may be done for the series. May be done. That's a big loss, as he was one of their leading scorers. If I'm not mistaken, he led them in scoring in the conference finals. Adebayo had a shoulder injury. The x-rays did come back negative. There was a tweet on that. I did not capture that tweet to show to you, but you can find it out there if you do the research. I did. Injuries piling up. I just got a notification from the NBA as well. Adebayo with the shoulder sprain. He exits early, and Goran Dragic reportedly tears plantar fascia. So there we go. Live, witnessing it right here for you. That's pretty bad if that is the case. Not only for his team, but for him as well, is that can take a while to heal, and it's hard to walk. So prayers out to him, hoping for a speedy recovery, regardless if it's reportedly torn or whatever the case is. That hurts, and he's going to need some time to heal up. Okay, so enough on the injuries there. I'll take a quick break from my monologue, head on over to the chat. I see a lot more of you are in here now. It's a great thing to see. Great thing to see. Let's see if any of you have responded to anything going on here. Mark Robertson still. I do. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to post a Zoom link tonight for y'all, but eventually I am going to post a Zoom link in here. I may just do it tonight. Because whoever came out is going to have a chance to be featured on here. And if you accept that link, then you can go ahead and get your voice on here, not just have me read out your comment as well. So Mark, I'm going to talk specifically to Mark right now. If you watch that game and you want to get on the Zoom link, I will put the Zoom link in there. I see Brandon out here as well, Brandon Crotchet. What's good, my man? Rough start to the series for Miami. How do you see the rest of the series playing out? I'm going to get to that comment. And I think this can address this. Next point that I have as well can address that. And it's the fact that Tyler Hero was guarding LeBron so often. And I'm not necessarily sure what Miami's game plan is. I know they run a lot of zone. Specifically, I'm going to be honest, I wasn't specifically watching for that tonight. I just noticed that Tyler Hero ended up on LeBron way too many times, because if he ends up on him like a couple of times on a switch or like broken down play, I get it. But it was almost like Miami put him on LeBron at points. I know that's not what happened, but it seemed like that's what happened, and that's ridiculous. You go check that video out that I did on Tyler Hero today, but the man is only 20, all right? He's only 20 years old, and he's guarding arguably the second greatest player ever. Some consider him the greatest. Obviously, the size differential, height, weight, I mean, he shouldn't be on LeBron James. And so that LeBron definitely feasted on that, but I don't know why he ended up switching off onto him so much. He did stop him a couple times, credit to him, and he's still a bucket, because at the end of that game, he kept them not necessarily close, but he kept the deficit respectable. He's the reason why they're able to stay within striking distance to where you may think it may be like a miracle on ice type deal going on, comeback situation, but no, it didn't happen. So Tyler Hero guarding LeBron is definitely a big warning sign that can cause something like this to happen right here. I mean, you can't have it. Spo knows. Okay, we'll take that off. I may refer to that a couple more times because that is a good screenshot right there. Anyway, just a couple more statistics here. Hero, like I said, single-handedly kept the deficit respectable. Anthony Davis, to talk some Lakers points now. He had 34 points. That's the third most in a Lakers history for finals debut. 34 points. And LeBron definitely has a more well-rounded stat line, but I wouldn't be surprised if Anthony Davis somehow gets the NBA Finals MVP if the Lakers do close it out. And speaking of them closing it out, I will get to that comment made by Brandon Crotchet. Rough start to the series for Miami. How do you see the rest of the series playing out? Well, at this point, considering the Dragic injury, and you lose about 20 points per game right there, you're obviously going to need the likes of Hero, Duncan Robinson, Jay Crowder to step up. I know Jeff Van Gundy said in the game that next man up is a terrible philosophy that he never used as a coach, but the reason being, if the next man up was just as good as the guy you're replacing, you pay the next man more. Those were his words. But hey, they got to work with who they have left, and you're going to have to see those guys really step up. I don't know how they're going to guard Miami inside in terms of size. I mean, you could put Olenek in there, but I don't know if he's checking Anthony Davis or Dwight Howard to a successful extent, to put it very nicely. So I could see this series going 4-0 or 4-1. But I don't want to count the Heat out, because every time I have this postseason, they've proved me wrong. I didn't think they could really beat the Bucks, and they did. I thought, well, I don't really know how legit they are. And then they went up 2-0 on Boston, and I said, okay, this team is pretty legit, and they closed out. Each series was 4-0, 4-1, 4-2, and now they're hoping, well, if they have any chance of winning this, it'd be 4-3. But man, LeBron is locked in. he's locked in. I see so many tweets about him, just the Mamba stare. Obviously, this whole thing with the added Kobe Bryant motivation. It is a real thing. It's not just a narrative or talking point. I really believe that's fueling them. And yeah, that's a great transition onto this right here. I did want to transition right here onto this. No one's on the phone tonight. We were gonna have somebody on the phone. Operator error. It's gonna happen sometimes, people. All right, yeah. Will history repeat itself? I mean, retweet NBA. Great tweet. This was tweeted out a couple days ago, maybe a week ago. Will history repeat itself? Kobe Bryant 09, LeBron 2020. Playoff comparisons. You see the similar path to a championship. I mean, I don't need to read it. You see it. Going for their fourth ring in Orlando, 11 years apart. I mean, it is eerie how similar this road is. And he's been locked in all postseason. Ever since Portland, first round, game 2, the guy has been locked in. And you got to give a credit to LeBron. He's earned everything this season. I mean, yeah, I really don't have anything like crazy hot take or anything to say about him. I just think he's done a great job in the role that he's been in. Obviously, he's using the MVP slight as motivation. Obviously, y'all know how I think about that. You can watch my video on why Giannis slander needs to stop, regardless of his loss in the second round. Giannis deserved the MVP in the regular season. But LeBron could very well get Finals MVP. Let's get back to a couple of comments here. Yeah, I'm getting that comment a couple of times. Sambo Gaming, the audio and the video don't sync up, so you're probably watching. Yep, some weird stuff. Apologize for that. First stream in a while. I will check it and make sure it's dialed in for game number 2. Thank you for letting me know there. Always like talking ball. Shout out Mark Robertson. Hero LeBron matchup. Yeah, sus. I heard, though, the YouTube grapevine, LA would exploit that matchup a lot. LeBron's a matchup nightmare for most guards. And that's true. Yeah, that is true. YouTube does have a grapevine. We're talking about potential matchups, everything like that. But yeah, that's probably something I should have seen coming. Considering Miami does play a smaller lineup, they do play a lot of guard, tall guard, maybe verging on forward types. And so that could have been something that happened, and it did. And I don't know what Miami's going to do going forward because now they're short bodies and they're short Bam, potentially. So at least Bam will be, banged up heading into the next game. So, man, they got a lot, really. You talk about an uphill battle, man. Everything is pointing in the way of Los Angeles Lakers. This is their series to lose. Miami's playing with house money at this point, as far as I'm concerned. And Spoelstra, man, he's been a Heat organization for many, many, many years. He's been in the NBA. He's seen it all. He's going to have to make some serious adjustments. This ain't like 2012, 2013, where he's got LeBron and D. Wade on his team. Shout out to the Miami Heat. They're a great team. They have a superstar in Jimmy Butler. The rest of these guys, though, they are young. They're inexperienced. And going up against somebody like LeBron at this point in his career, where it's pretty much now or never. I mean, everything is set up for LA to win this. LeBron is great in his role, but do you think Davis is carrying? That's Mark Robertson. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't say that Davis is necessarily carrying. I mean, the points load. He's led the team in points all season, and he's led them in a lot of stats actually all season. But carrying would be like LeBron is not carrying his weight, therefore he is being carried. And I don't think so. I mean, LeBron is getting too many assists and he's doing too much other than, scoring 20 plus points to be carried. So I wouldn't say he's being carried. Very similar roads. LeBron and Kobe traveled indeed. Both ended up being just short of MJ. At least once I'd be happy if LeBron won another title. Even more happy for Dwight, absolutely as well. Dwight Howard going for his first championship in Orlando, not a member of the Magic. The irony is palpable. That's Brandon Crotchet again. And so you know what I'm going to do right here? I'm going to go ahead and put this up right here. I'm going to keep my audio on. And we're going to go ahead and just take this off for now. Put this one up right here. I am going to try something, and I have no idea how this is going to work. So we're just going to see. I am going to post a Zoom link. I'm going to post a Zoom link in this live chat. So whoever wants to join it can. This is wild. But we're going to try it out. So just bear with me here while I post it in the chat. Again, like I said, I know there is a delay and everything like this, so you might just be getting this right as I post it. Okay, so here we go. Anybody who wants to join this and speak live can do that right now, because all y'all are here, y'all faithful followers of this channel. And so I just posted it right there. Whoever wants to join in on Zoom can do this. And we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what happens. This is some good stuff right here. I'm looking forward to this. Check a few more things. This stream is still going. It's going strong. I know I recognize the technical difficulties with the audio and the video being off. I will check it out. I will check it out for sure. Looking just around 25 minutes right now. Appreciate all y'all for being out here. LA Lakers take game 1 series. I'm going to be honest, ain't looking the most favorable. It ain't looking the most favorable. All right, so we are waiting right now, see if anybody is going to join in on the Zoom. If you do, great. If we don't get anybody to hop on it, technical problems or whatever the case may be, it's all good as well. Like I said, going forward, audio is going to be better, sync with the video, and I will have guests on here as well, pre-planned guests. Game 1, we're just kind of trying a couple new things out. You know what I mean? Trying a couple new things out. But yeah, that link is up there for y'all. That link is in the live chat, and if any of y'all want to hop on. And also, if you do hop on, go ahead and don't listen to me in the broadcast. Go ahead and listen to me. Okay, I think we got Mark in here. He's connecting to audio. So can you hear me?
Hey,
I got you now. Yep, and you should be coming through as well for the live stream. There he is, ladies and gentlemen.
My dude?
One and only.
Hopefully the only.
I don't think there's a couple more Marks, but there's not a lot of Mark Robertsons.
Hey,
all right, man.
You know
so we can talk a little bit about this NBA Finals game. You can talk a little Kings, whatever you want, man. This is pretty much open time now.
Yes, sir. I did not get to watch, but it is frustrating because I made my prediction of Heat in 5, and that probably ain't gonna happen now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I had some guys tell me the other day Heat in 6, and I think a lot of people are rooting for them. I
thought they were gonna put Jimmy on LeBron, and then put Bam on Davis, but I guess that's just not what they wanted to do.
Yeah, you'd think that'd be the case, considering that Jimmy, he's guarded the best player, all throughout the playoffs.
Right.
Like he said, personally, he wanted to check Giannis, and he did. He stepped up and did that. So yeah, they're gonna have to make a lot of adjustments. But the thing is, I probably should have seen it coming, but too many switches of those guards onto LeBron, and it's just not gonna work out at that point,
Yeah, and it sucks that they lost. Him having such a good season, it sucks that they lost Dragic for the rest of the season. Like, that's just a kick in the butt, yeah. Honestly.
Yeah, and when it's an injury like that, like type of plantar fascia injury, like that's just from wear and tear, too much wear and tear. All right, we got Brandon think this is Brandon Crotchett coming in here as well. We're gonna admit him in.
Okay.
Go ahead and have him connect. Okay.
We're getting a little crew.
Yep. Connecting to audio. I think we got him. Brandon, what's up, man?
What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
Good, good.
Hey.
I know you've been a long time follower and watcher, man. Never been able to get on here and talk with you, but it's great to see you on here, man. And
Hey, great to be on, man.
thank
Sorry,
you.
I took me a little while to get on. I just literally just kind of hopped up out of bed. I was listening to it in bed, so I was like, oh, I gotta jump on this real quick. You know,
Oh, good.
Just-
Good stuff. Good
Man.
stuff.
YouTube general.
That's it. That's it. He's been with us for a long time to get that one. All
I
right.
got you,
So what's your initial reaction? I know you typed a couple of comments in there.
Just regards to the game one, or just like
Game one. You
gen-
could give a kind of a series overview as a whole.
Well, I mean, just with regards to game one, I kind of, a lot of people, especially mostly my friends, are like Miami Heat fans because, living down here in Florida, it's a big, you're either Magic or Miami, and, Magic ain't doing nothing right now.
Yeah.
So a lot of my friends were kind of pulling for Miami, and, for me, I'd love to see Miami win. It'd be nice to see, the underdog win and Spoelstra kind of get that, that recognition that I think he deserves. But just as far as the series goes, I got LA winning in 6. I think that when it comes to the playoffs, for the most part, having that superstar talent, especially a talent that is, one of the best, if not the best player in the world, who has such a finals and championship pedigree, it's very hard to counteract that, especially when you have a young team like the Heat. And I think it showed tonight. They were able to play some mismatches here and there, especially like you said with, like you mentioned earlier, the LeBron Hero matchup. That's just, oh my goodness, I can't begin to imagine. You got a rookie going up against 6'9", 6'8", 250 pounds in his 17th year, who just looks like he's in the middle of his prime still. It wasn't going to be pretty.
Yeah.
So do you
absolutely.
think?
Go ahead.
So do you think? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
All you, Mark.
So, do you think? Because me and Josh were talking about this a little bit, but do you think LeBron? Do you think while LeBron is amazing at what he does, do you think LeBron is the one that's really going to be the player of this series? I think it's Davis, personally.
Yeah, I think it's pretty close. I think they both kind of work hand in hand almost. Like, it's just like during the regular season, sometimes you'd have stretches where, like LeBron, he's the facilitator of the offense, he's the playmaker, and everything like that. But then you have AD who dominates the post, who's able to get the buckets, plays great defense. I think with this series, I think AD will definitely get his, but I think because LeBron is, been to this level before out of those two, I think that his finals experience will kind of play into it just a little bit more than AD. But I still think AD will get plenty. So
yeah. Unfortunately, one of the things to go off of, and it's still going to be great. Like whoever wins still gets the championship ring. But unfortunately, this is just another nick. People getting injured is just another nick or another what's it called? Like little asterisk on the side of this championship, because not only was it a COVID year and we had a really odd situation, now it's injury. It's like, is this really a legitimate ring?
Yeah, I mean, I guess my thing with all that is just at the end of the day, it's still, even if it's not in home arenas, it's still the NBA Finals. It's still all those guys going out there, and whether your players are down or not, you still got to go out there and compete. And that's just, I think somebody mentioned in the comments, I can't remember exactly, but I think it was like next man up. And that's, it's an unfortunate thing to happen. And, again, COVID and everything, but you still got to go out there and compete. You still got to go win. And if whichever team wins it, whether it's, LeBron capturing his 4th or whether it's the Heat, going against the odds and pulling it off, I think you still got to give it to him regardless of that. So,
could you imagine an injured Heat team beating basically the best Heat player of all time?
Yeah, it's a stretch right now. Like, it was a stretch going into the series before Bowen got injured, but I mean, hey, crazier things have happened in the NBA, so we'll never know till it's over. So
We just saw two Denver comebacks of 3-1 down. So anything can happen.
Yeah. So with that said, I want to go ahead and just remind everybody listening as well. A couple of viewers from the chat have hopped in Zoom. You can hear them: Mark Robertson, Brandon Crotchet. Hopefully next time I can get you guys up on the screen. I'm trying to figure out how to do that during this, but hey, like I said, I'm trying to run multiple things at once here. I did want to ask you guys as well, just kind of an overall a playoffs question. Having this, because I've seen this come up a couple of times, having this be in the bubble, in the format and the way it is, and the lack of travel. We've seen some like inflation in numbers, possibly because players' legs have been able to be more fresh. They're not getting on planes. I'm not saying they're like cramped on planes. They fly, private. It's very exclusive and nice. But still, travel is travel. Different time zones, everything like that. Do you think that has contributed in any way to maybe, at least till this point, lack of injuries and maybe inflated numbers? You think it's contributed to that at all, being in the bubble? Start with Mark. You can go ahead.
I mean, possibly. Personally, I don't think so, because they're playing in a really, some people say it's a very tough environment with how bad the humidity is in Florida. And they're also like, I know you're from there. But you're probably used to it, so you wouldn't say it's bad. But I've seen on some of the player vlogs that people have created on YouTube, they've very disliked the humidity in Florida. So, but I don't think so. I think they're still playing the same game. You might not be having the same like intensity because there's no crowd, and so it's not as like boosted. Not everyone's like heart rates are really super pumping, but that's just me.
Yeah. As far as the heat goes, I mean, with regards to living down here, I don't think it's necessarily something like you like as a Florida. You just kind of, like you said, you just kind of get used to it. You just kind of grit your teeth and bear it. And right now this morning I stepped outside. It was like 64 degrees, and for us that's winter weather right there. Everybody else is not. But I guess to answer the question with regards to the playoffs, I think that the lack of jet lag, I think, helps. But then, like Mark said, the humidity, for a lot of players aren't used to this. It can kind of counteract that. I think there's certain instances where the bubble's been a good thing, and then other instances where it's kind of just balanced it out, where it's not really good or bad. It's just been kind of neutral. And I think you can also play that in with the crowds, though, too. There's a lot of players that like to feed off the crowd. They like to feed off the energy, and it gets them going. Keeps them it keeps a hot streak going. And then there's other players that, when the silence is there, they can just focus. They don't have to worry about any noise. It literally is so much easier to drown out all the noise when there's no noise except pumped in canned crowd noise.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think, the floor general?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm trying to do a graphic at the same time for you guys as I'm thinking about this.
Oh,
yeah, like I said, multiple roles. But no, I mean, I think in a way that it has played a factor. It could also play a factor in the opposite direction, though, if we think about it, because these players are used to obviously seeing their families and everything like that. And I know the families were able to come in, I think, at the second round. But just, being gone for a while and seeing how all of that went down, I think to me the most impressive thing was the level of play from the jump was pretty high. And I definitely expected a longer period for all of these players, more than 8 games, especially after being off so many months. And it's not like, this time they were off, they weren't really able to do anything at all. I know they had a few weeks of training before coming back, but normally it is like in the summer when supposedly there's no basketball going on. It's like the whole Nike thing, right? Basketball never stops, that slogan. It really doesn't for these guys. It's their career. They may take a few days, maybe a week off, but then they're back at it. And, when it was COVID, you can't really be at anything. And so that applies to our professional athletes. So I thought the level of play was impressive. But, even watching, like, for example, like a Jamal Murray, That guy
Oh,
seemed like
jeez.
he seemed like he was banged up at times throughout, but was able to get over it. Maybe it's because in his off days he literally did nothing but sleep or and just chill in the bubble. But he didn't have to travel. It could have helped him, but I think it's unfortunate now that we get to the biggest stage and you're seeing, some of these injuries that can take effect in the playoffs. We saw last year with Golden State, kind of some nagging injuries throughout. Kevin Durant getting to the finals, Clay. I think Iguodala at times was kind of banged up, and you just kind of see that it's a long grind. And I know they had that time off, but still, these guys. I mean, when they got back, they're playing almost every other day, and it's still high level basketball, and it can happen. Um, so I guess the question I'll ask for y'all, just one more to finish out here, um, is that what do you think are the main things if you had to pick out, if you could have a direct Zoom call with Coach Spoelstra, you'd say, hey, look, besides taking Tyler Hero off LeBron as much as possible, what are the other things that we can do to turn this around? What do you think, Brandon? You can go ahead.
I'd just say try to make sure, like, I mean, obviously you mentioned the part about Hero and LeBron. Um, I would probably say, try to incorporate Bam a little bit more into the offense. I would say, and obviously he had a rough night tonight, but try to, try to have him more of a presence on the offense. Just be more adaptable on defense though too. I know they like to run that zone. I believe in the Boston series there was at some points they were able to kind of find the holes in the zone, and they were able to kind of exploit those and get some easy buckets. So I think that you just got to find a way to be able to be flexible and be adaptive on the defensive end and just be able to generate some points offensively without, I guess, like tiring yourself out. So it's not easy to do, especially against, again, a guy that knows the system, knows the coach very well. And on top of that, he's got a running mate who is one of the best players in the league. But, at this point, your point guard's down. You got to find somebody to step up. And I mean, I'm surprised that Jimmy Butler is not. I know that they run a zone, but if I'm the Heat, I am making sure that Jimmy Butler is glued to LeBron James 24/7, and Bam Adebayo is glued to Anthony Davis 24/7.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
I agree, Mark.
yeah, I agree with that last part because when Jimmy is that good on defense and you have someone like LeBron, you need to have him on him. But I also think like maybe they can focus more on focus more on LeBron, and Anthony Davis has his days when he just goes off, but maybe like let him go off,
Yeah.
and then focus on everybody else because everybody else are the ones that are feeding the guy that's going off.
Yeah, actually, to respond to that, I heard that argument the other day, and I think it's just a general basketball argument where it was, sometimes coaches will say, we take this guy out of the game, stop this guy, do everything you can to contain him. But at the same time, if one guy is doing everything, then you're okay if that guy somehow beats you, right? So that's responding to your point, Mark, and it is good. It's not like if they let Anthony Davis do whatever he wants, then LeBron is not going to step up and do what he does. He's still going to do that. And those are two.
Right.
That's a 1-2 punch. That's hard to contain. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if Anthony Davis, if you can just keep him as a scorer and try to make him possibly use more energy on the offensive end instead of getting easy dunks and putbacks, then potentially you can wear them down. But I think this is another game that proved like the Lakers are not just a good offensive team. They ended up shooting really well tonight, which was I wouldn't say it's unusual, but they don't usually shoot that good from three. But it proved that they're a really good defensive team as well, and they've been all season. These guys, they know what they're doing. Obviously, Rondo is known, is stuck around in the league for his defense and his ability to be a floor general. But yeah, those are a couple of things that you just take away and you say, look, like this is a solid defensive team. They're on a mission, and they're hard. They're going to be hard to stop, especially now that you have the injuries. Okay, so as we wrap up here, this is great, and the next live stream, I'm going to do more Zoom like this. I'll probably post another link just right in the live chat, or beforehand if I can get some certified guests to come on before to be in advance. But anyway, any closing remarks about this game. I mean, I know there's not a lot to take from it other than I'm gonna put that Spoelstra pick that you've seen a couple times up on the screen right there. Just kind of a, you know, I don't know what to do type of face. But any other remarks besides injuries or anything you want to see going forward out of this series? Anything you want to say?
Yo, Josh, I just looked something up that I was curious on, and how the heck did the Heat only make Davis foul once? Like
Foul situation.
their best scoring guy, LeBron had 3, Howard had 3, Morris had 3. Like, get Davis into foul trouble early.
Right.
He went 11 of 21. So if you get him into foul trouble early, he taken like maybe 1/3 less of those shots.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, who's he primarily guarding? Was he guarding Bam at the beginning?
I have no clue. I didn't watch, but
well, either way,
you guys would have more.
Like Brandon mentioned, like it should be Bam going up against him. And I thought Bam at the beginning of the game was good, but maybe forcing the issue a little bit more for some fouls. Yeah. Go ahead, Brandon.
AD usually there's a reason why he wants to play power forward and not center, because he is a better matchup at power. He doesn't have to be as physical at power forward. Whereas if he has to actually go down in the post and trade blows down there, you're going to wear him out a lot more. You're going to set him up more, and so he won't be as effective on offense. And I think though too, I was in addition to that, like if you can, like we said, let AD try to eat on the offensive end, but like keep him out of the paint. If they can find a way to keep him out of the paint, spread him out to the 3-point line, which he's a good shooter from out there. He's decent, but he's not gonna kill you from out there.
Mm-hmm.
And you can keep him out of the paint, and then put Jimmy on LeBron, and then anytime LeBron comes in the paint, have Bam slide over, provide some good help D. That may be enough to take LeBron out of his game. And if you can take like the playmaker, the facilitator, the guy that's the main driving force behind that offense out of his game, you might have a chance. It's a tall order, but that might be their best bet.
Yeah, some good points. And definitely, there's going to have to be some rotation changes that happen just because of injuries, but also some voluntary rotations as well. I agree. You guys had some good points. I'm looking forward. Friday night, I'm doing this again right after the game. So if you guys are here in your game, you're definitely getting on again. I'll put the Zoom link there. Thank you guys so much for joining me.
Hey, appreciate it, and thanks for having us on.
All right. Thank you guys for being supporters of Topic Tackle. I'll go ahead and end this meeting and take this off right here. And okay, I'll take these out. And that's just about it. Okay. Other than the fact that my audio with the voice was off tonight. I understand. Thank you for coming out here, people. Sticking around as long as you have. And go ahead and check out the recent video on Tyler Hero. More videos are coming soon. Game 2 live stream is going to be Friday night after, Game 2. Because that's just how it works. All right, thank you so much for watching. And as always, stay solid, people.